I got a special guest for you today, pioneer in the industry, pushing us forward, Chris Mack from carbon.credits. I am John Devine from Blockfills. And today we're going to talk about Bitcoin Ordinals and how they can push this industry forward in terms of renewable energy credits and carbon offsets. So Chris, you want to start us off and give us a spiel on what are Ordinals?
So Ordinals are essentially an NFT. It's a very new concept that just came out in the last couple months. And it's an NFT that operates using the Bitcoin network.
Okay. All right, now these are basically NFTs on Bitcoin. Why are Ordinals interesting for renewable energy credits and carbon offsets? What's the story there?
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of debate and controversy around, of course, Bitcoin mining, using clean energy, renewable energy. At the same time, we wanted to come up with a product that uses the Bitcoin network rather than something else. And now that we have this technology, we're able to do it. So it's very exciting.
Okay, so that's in regard to some of these other protocols that have similar offerings, but instead, in this case, we're going to be only using the Bitcoin blockchain and the immutability of Bitcoin for these ordinals, correct?
Yes, that's right.
All right, that's fascinating. This is really the bleeding edge of Bitcoin innovation. So why don't you take us to the next part of this, and that is, what is clean Bitcoin? How do they work with ordinals? Can you get into it with us?
Yeah, so clean Bitcoin is a Bitcoin ordinal that represents an offset of the mining of 1 Bitcoin. And it's backed by the number of renewable energy credits proving that it's offsetting. And the other advantage is it actually publicizes the RECs underlying and backing the asset. So it's a proven asset.
All right, so I own Bitcoin, and I want to buy one of these clean Bitcoin tokens, one of these clean Bitcoin ordinals. What use do I have once I own that ordinal? Why would I want to buy one of these if I own Bitcoin?
Yeah, so by buying and owning or holding on to the clean Bitcoin, you're essentially holding on to a right which proves that you have offset your Bitcoin. Now, let's say, for example, you're already an investor, maybe you already have a bunch of Bitcoin, and it's just regular Bitcoin. You purchased it, mined it over the years, and just holding on to it. Well, now you can offset that Bitcoin by buying these ordinals.
All right, so the underlying premise here is that if you are a Bitcoin investor, you own Bitcoin in your portfolio, but you want to be able to make the claim that the Bitcoin you hold was mined with renewable energy electricity, that is the advantage of owning this ordinal. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. And it's very unique because no one has been able to do this directly. There's been a lot of question about the way miners are producing their energy, but this proof guarantees that the renewable energy credits are underlying.
Okay, well, can you kind of bring us home and talk a little bit about the chart that's behind us and how this all comes together with what you're doing?
Yeah, so the chart behind us is showing the growth of energy being used in regards to the Bitcoin network, and what we find is over time it does tend to go up in one direction.
Understood. So as we all know in this audience, there's been a lot of, quote unquote propaganda against Bitcoin being an energy hog. It consumes a lot of electricity to maintain this network. And I think what we've come across here is how can we use the Bitcoin blockchain to now be able to use renewable energy credits to make the claim that the Bitcoin we hold, the electricity used to produce that Bitcoin came from renewable energy technology. Now this is really a monumental step forward for Bitcoin because now the renewable energy credits are being registered as an ordinal on the Bitcoin blockchain. So, and correct me if I'm incorrect here, Chris, but now we can really kind of combat this narrative that Bitcoin is too energy intensive, bad for the environment, too carbon intensive. Is that the angle here?
Absolutely, especially if we're talking about bigger buyers, asset managers that want to be ESG compliant. They want to be, the assets they own, they want them to be clean, right? Yep. And this is a proof and guarantee of that.
So I think this is proof in action, in real time, really, that the more you attack Bitcoin, the stronger Bitcoin gets. Because, really, this is one of the biggest arguments against Bitcoin right now is the energy consumption. But here, we can really witness in real time the innovation of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain and how to combat these attacks, really proving the idea that Bitcoin is designed to be attacked and designed to respond to these attacks and evolve and push us forward. Do you have you want to leave the audience with some final comments on clean Bitcoin or carbon.credit or what you're doing in a broader sense?
Sure, yeah. So carbon.credits in exchange for carbon credits, renewable energy credits. We just announced our launch in the last week, and today we're announcing the launch of the clean Bitcoin, which we've already minted the first one. And we're super excited to offer this to the Bitcoin community and investors.
All right, so is this true that your offering here is the first ordinal offering that intertwines renewable energy credits on the Bitcoin blockchain?
To my knowledge, it is, yeah.
Well, then this is a massive day for Bitcoin. I think we will all begin to, yes, this really does deserve a round of applause because this is pushing the industry forward and attacking or combating the attacks that we have witnessed for the past 3 years on the electricity consumption. Chris, thank you very much for the innovation you have continued to do for the industry and pushing us forward. And thank you, everybody, for coming out to listen to this monumental announcement. Really, I think we're all going to start to see a lot more conversation in the media around Bitcoin ordinals, renewable energy credits, and how the Bitcoin network as a whole is going to drive renewable energy technology investment, in addition to all the benefits that we are all very well versed on in this conference. So thank you all for listening to us. Chris, thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your conference.